Here's how you would go about cleaning up your model to prepare it for Substance Painter. For me, my model is already cleaned up and inside a group, but I'm just going to go over the steps you need to follow. First thing is delete your history. So edit, delete all by type, and history. This should get rid of a lot of junk you might have in the outliner, but you still have more to do. I know that some of you have been copying and pasting objects within your scene. So if you've clicked on an object, then Control C to copy and then Control V to paste, you are also creating two additional groups. So you have the group that you've pasted, then it says pasted arcade, and then you have your model inside that. And then if you select this model here, and now this is a separate model, and if I select this and go to Control C, and then just paste it again, that's going to create a whole other group within this. So now I'm creating so many groups within groups within Maya. So you do want to get rid of these as well, but it's going to be very challenging to go through each and every group and find where the object is. So an easy way to go about that is, let's select, so these are my two objects. So if you have multiple objects in your scene that are within groups, you can select all of them. So let's say these are my two pasted objects within the group. So just, if you've done this a lot, you will have a lot more than this, but you can select all of them and select it from your workspace and go up to edit and group to just group those models together. So now you'll have maybe whatever you've pasted inside this group. And once you've created that group, you can just delete all these extra groups. I'm going to delete these two objects since I don't need them right now. And let's go back to the model. So for my model, I have some main parts. So from here up to here is basically the main aspects of the model. Then I have screws, which I've put in a separate group. Within the screw groups, there's a bunch of smaller groups with screws from the top, screws from here, and they're all within this one. And then I have the arcade door. And you can organize your file in any way that you wish, but basically how you would do this is, if you had your side panels, for example, and the stop, you wanted to put that in a group, you would go up to edit group, and that's Control G is the shortcut for that. And if these objects are already within an existing group, they'll just form a new group inside that one. So you have arcade, and inside arcade you have group 1, which I just formed, and I can call this arcade main pieces. If you realize that, oh, I want to include this monitor inside arcade main pieces as well, you can select this, middle mouse click and drag. You'll see that it's highlighting certain parts, but once you get to arcade main pieces, just let go of your middle mouse key and you can drop that screen inside this group as well. So organize this as you see fit. You can just have, if you prefer it that way, you can just have one main group that's arcade, or you can have a bunch of groups inside it. And you can keep creating groups within groups, so you can even have this arcade main pieces and edit group or Control G, and now you have a group within that. And with these lines from the groups, you can kind of see the hierarchy. So this is the all of these objects are within arcade, and then you have arcade main pieces, you have another group within that, and that holds the supports. So organize the groups. Once you do that, you can go into your model. Let's hide these parts. You can delete certain parts of your model if you don't need to see them. This will become important when you are texturing with your UV editor. So I've deleted, basically, I modeled this the same way that most of you did with an inside. I deleted the inside pieces because I'm never going to see them. I have this vent right here. If I move it away, you can see that the vent does not have a back. It just has the front, and it kind of has an edge here that I've left in just so it doesn't look empty. But when you look at it here, you just see the vent like this. Same thing for the top. So this vent is just an extra piece, and I have a hole here that I created by just adding some edges and deleting a face. So clean up that. Even if I have screws, all my screws do not have a back. So if I focus on the screw, you'll see that it's just a cylinder and have deleted the faces on the inside. So this is the next step, delete those extra faces. And then finally, you want to check your UVs. So I go from General Workspace to UV Editing, and I select my object, and I make sure my entire object has UVs. So when I select it, you should be able to see these squares all the way around. If you see any parts of your object that do not have squares at all, you might not have done the UVs correctly. So check the UVs, check the objects. Finally, when you've done all of this and it's all working out, you have this main group arcade. And what you want to do with this group, delete history again for good measure. So edit, delete all by type history. Get rid of that. Now this is super clean. It has UVs. You've done everything right. The last step is you need to scale this to be accurate to real world scale. We've discussed this in class, how to measure the scale. So I'm going to show you those steps again so we can scale this according to real world size. As a reminder, Maya works in centimeters. The default unit for Maya is centimeters. So any measurements that you see will be in that unit. I am going to leave this object here, and I'm going to create my measuring tool. So create, measure tools, and distance tool. And I'm going to, with this distance tool, I'm just going to click once at the bottom and click once near the top of this object. I'm going to hold down Shift to draw a straight line, and you'll see that it creates two locators, locator 1 at the bottom and locator 2 at the top, and an object called distance dimension, which shows you how tall this object is. I'm going to click on enter, and I'm going to look at these locators. So I have locator 1 and locator 2, and I have distance between them. If I select locator 2 and move it up, you will see that this number keeps increasing. So our arcade is at 14 centimeters tall, because as I said, Maya uses centimeters as a default measurement. But a real life arcade is around 6 feet tall, and that is 180 centimeters. So this object is just super small, and we need to change that. So I'm going to use this measure tool to see just how tall 180 centimeters is. So if I move this up, you can see that the height keeps increasing. I can just keep moving this locator until it reaches 180. But I'm just going to go to translate y, which is the value that changes when you move the locator. And I'm going to type in 180 here. You don't need this to be very accurate. It just needs to be similar to the size of a real life arcade. If you want to make this number exactly 180, you can also set this bottom locator exactly to 0. So you see it has some sort of value here. So I'm going to set the translate y to 0, and now you have the height. This arcade is really small, so I need to scale it up. I'm going to select the arcade group, so don't select individual pieces. Select the main group that has the entire arcade. Click on R on your keyboard and use the center of the R tool, the scale tool, to just keep making this bigger until you reach the height of this measure tool. And I can even select locator 1, locator 2, and distance dimension and move them to the side so I can see them better. And once I do this, my arcade is prepared to take to Substance Painter. We're going to have another video showing you how to assign materials and how to organize your UVs better. But if you're done with UVs and you scale this, this is mostly ready for Substance Painter. If you want to make this grid bigger, if this is way too small, you can go up to Display, Grid, and go to the grid options. And you can change the length and width of the grid. So now we've made this object a lot bigger. So you can set this to 100 units, and that grid will also become bigger. I don't want you to change the default units of Maya right now. They can be set to imperial units, but some things in Maya are hard-coded to the metric system. So right now, just keep it at the default of centimeters and measure your object. And once you're done measuring, you can hide these by clicking on H on your keyboard, or you can just delete them since you don't need these anymore.